Honorable judges, the existence of online gambling in our society are very much a rampant and especially dangerous thing. Because of what? Because in especially more socially backwards area, gambling push people into desperation. Gambling push people into doing more harmful crime. For example, robbing, stealing, extortion, and even killing. Honorable judges, isn't that very much cruel? That's why the motion of just skill training is very much flawed, honorable judges. We as the opposition team discovers a few problems. First of all, many gamblers pushed by desperation to commit other crime. For like what I said earlier, gamblers that are very much pushed to a brink of desperation, they don't have any money anymore, are very much pushed to do more violent crime, and that's the usual way they got caught. By doing stealing, they doing extortion, even they do killing. The second is, in the other side, gambling dealers isn't likely to stop with only just skill training on the judges. Because of what? Because gambling, the ugly truth is gambling is a successful business, honorable judges. Many people are falling for the scam. That's why we as opposition strongly refuse this motion and reject the idea that special service is very much fair, and we argue the contrary. Now I will move to my mechanism. This is a comparison motion, and with the mechanism we will strengthen the current program. First of all, gambler offending will still be in prison. Now we will divide them. First of all, the light gambler. The light gambler are only the quote-unquote defendant. The way they usually do is just gambling. That's why we will put them in light prison when the sentence is shorter and they can have much freedom. But for the one that is high, the gambling dealers, we will put them into more advanced, more heavier sentence, and also we will put a liability for them, that what they cause, what the bankruptcy that they cause, the suffering that they cause. Third, after prison, we will have social service. Then we will have social service. With that, we will have the upside of social service for gamblers without the many downsides. Now I will move to my rebuttal. First of all, the government might say that gambler is not a violent crime, a victimless crime, and it is unfair for gambler to send their influencer. Honorable judges, this is flatly wrong. Gambling is not a victimless crime. Gambling will push people into desperation to doing more and more crimes that will push them into eventually doing a violent crime. Moreover, gambling also mostly tied to other violent crime. For example, the gambling is often tied to criminal group. And even if gambling isn't a violent crime, how about the property damage? Family that lost money to gambling, money from school that is also all that instead of building our future, instead they use for gambling. Second, it is that they saying that rehabilitation is more effective by reducing the offender rate. Honorable judges, gambling isn't just an addiction. Skill training won't magically cure addiction. Honorable judges, what if they still an addict? Second, without strong defender, offender will be more likely to do it again. Even if rehab without prison will help, it will only help those who are motivated. How about those who aren't motivated? How about who still addicted to gambling? I will move to my argument. First of all, imprisonment is more effective. Imprisonment can deter. Imprisonment both can deter and disincentivize gambler. So more for gamblers, they can show their consequences of their action. For dealer, is a heavier punishment, meaning that they are less likely to do it again, and they also have to pay the liability. If they have to pay liability, then gambling isn't so much a profitable option, because the profit they get from stealing, from scamming, are instead using to pay their liabilities. Second, imprisonment teaches accountability. Not normalizing gambling are on without skill swap. With not normalizing gambling by only giving them skills training are not likely. The second one is that with both imprisonment and surveillance rehabilitation, we can achieve two things. We can first deter and make sure the gamblers are not going to do it again. And the law serves morality also. Because of what? Because we can also introduce themselves to society little by little. Thanks, proud to be the opposition.